In this video, we are going to discuss about Terraform and how to automate Azure infrastructure deployment using Terraform. So I am Sunesh Surendran. I am a blogger of itinfratutorials.com. So what we are going to discuss in this session is install Azure CLI in Windows, how to do that, and downloading the Terraform for Windows and doing some actions with that exe, how to build a configuration file for Terraform and how it looks like, and how to run that configuration file from Windows. So all these topics we are planning to cover in this video, and it will be helpful for you to understand about the basics of Terraform and how to use Terraform as an infrastructure, as a code. So let's go to the first topic. So once the Terraform is installed in our machine, it have to contact to the our Azure account. So how it happens? Even though when we have an Azure account, how we can control, how we can connect to the Azure account from the local laptop? So there are different methods for the authentications. So one of the method is using Azure CLI. Actually, in this module, we are trying to cover Azure CLI method to authenticate with the cloud. And there are other methods like using managed service identity and using service principal with a client certificate and a service principal with a client secret. So these are the other different way of authenticating to the Azure. I will show you how we can do an authentication, how to start with it. So the prerequisite of this video will be you should have an Azure subscription and an account, so that then only all this works. So let's go and see how it is done. For that, actually we have to go to Google and search for Azure CLI MSI for Windows. So there is an MSI provided by the Azure team. You can download into your machine and you can install it. It's around 48 MB and it's a version currently by today is 2.0.75. When you are seeing this video, it might be more than that. So you can download the latest one. So it's download to my downloads file folder. So these are the three steps we have to do. Download the Azure CLI MSI, which we done now, and installing it. So there will be an UI to, you have to press, actually it's not a UI, it's a wizard. You have to press next to install it. And then after that, once it is installed, open your PowerShell and just type the command line like AZ login, Azure user account, username and password. Please enter your username and password. Once it is done, it will give you a JSON format as a result. If the login is successful, it will have your tenant ID, it will subscription ID, and all the details. So this is how you can install Azure CLI in your machine and connect to that Azure. So this is one of the prerequisites for this using Terraform. I'm planning to tell you the following steps. Like downloading, the first our action is to download the terraform.exe from the Terraform website and create a new folder in your local machine and copy this Terraform to that folder. Then after that, create the Terraform configuration file and save the same configuration file in the same folder. Once that is done, open PowerShell and navigate to the folder path and run terraform.exe in it, which is used to initialize the Terraform. Next, if you want to run that configuration file against your Azure account, you have to do first a plan. That means that what you written as an infrastructure as a code is perfectly right or wrong. By this command, it will say that. So just type terraform.exe space plan. So it will show you your code is right or wrong. The next is to run your Terraform configuration file. The third step is to like terraform.exe apply. So what it does is it connects to your Azure account. What is written as an infrastructure as a code, it goes through each line and create one by one in that Azure account. So it makes the life of an engineer easy, because doing things in the UI always makes prone to error, and it is like it's difficult. But here within one click and by running few commands, you are getting the complete infrastructure up and running. So let's go and see how it is done in the machine. This is the Terraform website. So to download the terraform.exe, just go to the downloads. So there are exes for Mac OS, Linux, FreeBSD, OpenBSD, Solaris, and Windows. As we are in Windows platform, I'm downloading the 64-bit uh, version of that terraform.exe. I will unzip it. It is in a zip format. So it will give me an exe as an output once I unzip it. You can see a terraform.exe. So we completed the first two steps. We completed this step and this step. Next is creating a folder and keeping this exe inside it. So let's go and create a folder. I'm creating a folder in the E drive. You can create this folder anywhere you want. I'm mentioning it as an IT infra demo. I'm copying the exe to my newly created folder. And I'm opening this location in my Visual Studio Code. Open folder. Select. So in this folder currently there is only a terraform.exe. Next we have to create a main.tf file. So this main.tf file is the configuration file where we write all the infrastructure as a code. So this is a Terraform configuration file, and we can write the complete infrastructure code inside this file, and this file is used to deploy that infrastructure. So currently my plan is to create uh, a virtual machine in my Azure cloud. So for that, how to go as a beginner? I don't know how to start it. Actually, this Terraform configuration file have two parts. One is the provider part, and next is the resource. These are the two main sections which we have to mention in the main.tf file. This provider means which provider. Is your provider is an AWS or Google Cloud or Azure? So let's go and see the documentation of the Terraform and see how they are mentioning that. So it's quite easy to start with. If I go to the Terraform website and go to docs and I press in providers, you can see the major providers here like AWS, Azure, Alibaba, Google, so many are there. So let's go to our provider is Azure. So click on Azure. Then we have to create an uh, virtual machine in our Azure cloud. So we have to go and select. You can see here all these are the resources types in Azure. So they have a example also for that. Let's go to cloud computing, containers, resource, compute resource. So our virtual machine will be inside the compute resources, and maximizing it, you can see virtual machines inside it. Azure RM virtual machines. Click on it. So this creates a virtual machine in Azure account. So this documentation is actually helpful for a beginner level. So you can copy paste this complete uh, Terraform, which creates a virtual machine for us. So let's copy and paste it in our, and I saved it. So the variables, first it starts with the variable. So I'm deleting the variables and I'm putting it as infra tutorials. So everything which comes with the variable will be, the variable created here is default. So how it works I will explain. So let's go to the resource first. So to create a virtual machine, it requires a resource group first. So the resource group is having a name which having a prefix IT infra tutorials hyphen resource. So this variable we made as a default is used here, and it is the location, it is in West US 2. So this will create an resource group with the name IT infra tutorials hyphen resource. Next is a network, virtual network with the name IT infra tutorials hyphen network, and the address space we mentioned, and location and resource group from this main location. That is this, from this main name and location it will fetch. And next is this, we need to create a subnet. Again the same concept, its name is internal. We are mentioning the name of it is an internal, and the group and network is just from the main. Next is the resource network interface, that also will be having so many variables inside it, and it is like values are given according to it. Next is the virtual machine name, and it is also prefixed with IT infra tutorials hyphen VM, and the location main, everything is same as that of the main. And last, the storage image, disk and OS what we are going to use. So this is our main.tf, and this is the infrastructure as a code. Let's see how Terraform we can deploy. So we go back to slides. What we covered is the first two we already covered. Next is creating a Terraform file and save it in this above folder. Yes, we saved it in the same folder. Next, we have to run terraform.exe in it. So let's open the PowerShell and go to this location. So we want to see what is happening actually in the behind. When I'm running in it, it is taking for the provider plugins. Then if it is not there, it will download the plugins. You can see a .terraform file is created. it have the required plugins for the Terraform. You can see a log.json and some of the exe, or again it is downloaded as part of the plugin. So terraform.exe use this exe internally to do the actions. So let's go back. Next, let's run the next command, terraform.exe plan. So this will connect to the my Azure account and see the current status, and it will do some planning like all the codes written is correct or not. So here plan summary it is showing. So plan have like it have five things to do, and to add five things to add, zero to change, and zero to destroy. So destroy also I will tell you at the end. So this many actions it will be, it is saying that it will be created. This also will be created. Subnet we are creating. So the plan looks fine. Everything is showing add plus plus plus. Minus minus, if it is showing that, that means it is removing from the current state. So we are good to do the deployment. So let's go and see how my current resource is there. So this is my account and I'm going and seeing my resource group. I don't have any resource group. If I refresh also, there is no resource group currently in this account. So let's go and trigger it. The next command is apply. So it started applying and it calculated the things to be created. Then it is will ask for a question like enter a value like, do we have to press yes? Do you want to perform this action? Yes, I want to perform this action. So it will take quite time to create all these resources uh, in my Azure account. So let's wait for some time. It started creating the added and zero destroyed. So everything is up and running. We go and see and refresh. Yes, the disk is added, the virtual machine came, NIC is present, and also the network is also present. So this is how you can create. Next, I will tell you the best option the Terraform given. If you are using in a test environment and you don't want this environment to be up and running for a long time because it is your test environment. So if you want to destroy this complete settings in one shot, there is a simple way. Just type terraform.exe destroy. Say that okay, do you really want to destroy all the resources? It says that 0 to add, 0 to change, and 5 to destroy. And also you can see here everything is mentioned as a minus. When we try to apply it, it was saying plus plus, now it is saying as minus. So that means that we are removing it from it, and it is for every action it is showing that destroyed. Yes, I want to destroy it because I don't want to pay for it, because this is a demo for me. You can see almost everything inside that resource group is removed, and it is taking time to remove the main resource group. Yes, everything is destroyed completely, and it is saying that how many counts it is destroyed. So it will take a few minutes to show in the portal. So if you delete a resource manually also, I see Azure is showing something like take some time to reflect here. So it will get removed. Actually, nothing is there inside in this portal. You can see resource not found. So it is taking some time to reflect in the portal. Yeah, that also is going. So that means that it will clearly remove the resource groups and all the things which we built. So this is how the Terraform use to automate the infrastructure deployment. So easy. So if you want other informations like how CI/CD pipelines works with Jenkins, and also how the Ansible playbooks, how you can use an Ansible playbook to do a remote actions for the Windows machines, just go and visit itinfratutorials.com. You can see my blogs, and we have a plan to bring post like how Azure DevOps can be used to do an infrastructure deployment. So next video will be about that, and please wait for it.